Imagine a sound so powerful it could liquefy your organs instantly, without fire or explosion. Just pure vibration. Scientists have actually created it, and what happened next defied everything we thought we knew. Imagine standing in a quiet room, the hum of a refrigerator, the distant murmur of traffic outside. Now, imagine that every sound you have ever heard, every whisper, every shout, every thunderclap, is nothing. A rounding error compared to something that exists at the very edge of what physics allows. There is a volume of sound so extreme, so incomprehensibly powerful, that it does not just hurt your ears. It does not just shatter glass or crack concrete. It reaches inside your body and turns your organs to liquid, not with heat, not with fire or explosion, with nothing more than vibration, pure, relentless bone, deep vibration that tears apart the very tissues holding you together. And this is not science fiction, this is real. Scientists have created it, and what they discovered along the way changed the way we understand sound itself. To understand how sound can kill, you first need to understand what sound actually is. It is not magic. It is not some mysterious force. Sound is simply waves of pressure moving through the air or through water or through anything that has molecules to push around. When those waves are gentle, you hear a bird singing. When they are violent, you feel a bass drum in your chest. But what happens when those waves become so intense that the air itself can no longer behave normally? What happens when the pressure swings are so extreme that the medium carrying the sound starts to break down? That is where things get strange. Researchers working in specialized laboratories have pushed sound to levels that most people cannot even conceptualize. We are not talking about a rock concert or a jet engine. We are talking about sound so powerful that the air around it begins to glow. The energy is so concentrated that it literally heats the surrounding gas, creating tiny flashes of light in the darkness of the chamber. The sound waves are no longer just moving air. They are reshaping it, compressing it into violent shock fronts that behave more like walls of force than anything you would recognize as noise. But the truly terrifying part is what happens to living tissue. Your body is mostly water, and water, when subjected to the right frequency and intensity of sound, does things that seem to defy common sense. In controlled experiments, scientists have observed liquids forming geometric patterns, rising against gravity, and even appearing to levitate in midair. Sound waves at certain frequencies create standing patterns of pressure that can hold droplets suspended, as if the liquid has forgotten which way is down. It is beautiful and deeply unsettling at the same time. Now scale that up. Imagine those same forces acting on the water inside your cells, inside your organs, inside the delicate membranes that keep your brain separate from your skull. At sufficient intensity, sound does not need to burn you or blast you apart. It simply vibrates you at a frequency that your body cannot withstand. The tissues that hold your organs together begin to separate. The boundaries between cells break down. This is not theoretical. The phenomenon has a name, and it has been documented. At around 210 decibels in air, sound transitions from something you hear into something that behaves like a continuous explosion. The pressure waves are so extreme that they create vacuums and compressions powerful enough to rupture human tissue instantly. You would not hear it. You would not feel pain. You would simply cease to be intact. And here is what makes this even more unsettling. Sound this powerful does not require a massive source. It can be generated in a laboratory with relatively modest equipment, focused and amplified through precise engineering. The danger is not in the size of the machine, it is in the concentration of energy. So, the next time you hear a loud noise and wince, consider this. That sound, as startling as it feels, is a whisper compared to what is possible. The boundary between a sound you hear and a sound that unmakes you is thinner than anyone ever wanted to believe. And somewhere, in a quiet laboratory, scientists are still pushing that boundary, learning just how far sound can go before it stops being sound and starts being something else entirely. Something that does not just reach your ears, it reaches your bones. Sound is so powerful, it can literally shake your organs apart. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more mind-blowing science every week.